skip ahead here. We're starting at... Alright. So.
Oh, just one thing to keep in note. The Baptiste, our Baptiste and I are on a Discord call together, so
Okay.
we have some form of communication.
Communication. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So here, so right off the bat, I don't like this position as Ana, like just in general as an Ana player. I absolutely hate playing up here. You have no line of sight of this right side at all, and you can be caught out very easily if they have snipers. So generally what I'd like to see for positioning is either playing right here, because you can play around this health pack, or playing over right here, because you also have a health pack and your team is right here.
Yeah.
So I generally don't like starting up here, but I know some players do, so it's not going to be a huge issue here.
Okay, so. Yeah, I find that, like, whenever I set up there, I don't really have a good line of sight down choke, so it's kind of hard to hit splash nades if they have,
yeah, like you can definitely still splash nades off, but like if you look right here, you can't see like half of the choke, right? It's like you can't see where they're coming from. You can't see pretty much anything. Let's see. So fight started there. Sim TPing up top right, trying to break TP.
I think the fact that they TP'd also, like, it really took me off guard. Like, I expected them to come through main.
Okay.
And I just got really spooked here.
Yeah. So definitely right away. Once again here, so we'll kind of. So you see them TP, right? And you know they have a sim, right?
Yeah.
So why is your first instinct to run into 6 people?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, right. This hog doesn't see you for some reason. But you should be dead here. You should be hooked and dead, right? Your Ryan's over here, your Bap's over there. Like your whole team is not with you.
Yeah.
So generally playing back and playing safer will allow you to keep your team alive here. Also, you're spam jumping on cooldown. I don't know if you've like seen that anywhere, but just jumping in general is just awful. It's 10 times easier.
Really?
Yes. Jumping is so bad, especially as Ana. So here, we'll look at you, like, while you're jumping, right? So, can I... Alright. Let me see if I can get, like, an angle of you. So, you see how predictable your head is? Right? When you jump, there's pretty much 2 places you can go, left or right. And it's all at a predictable angle. Now, let's say that they have a Widow sitting in that top right angle over there.
Yeah, no, my head is gone. Yeah.
Takes off your head first.
I feel like I watched your Lucio VOD review. I feel like what you said about, being in a low rank, it really just it kind of influences bad play more, because a bad Widow might not hit that head.
Exactly.
And it just compels you to do that same thing over and over again because you think it's gonna work, but in reality it's not.
Yeah. Like take it like a bad Widow like may not be used to the timing and may not be able to hit this shot correctly, but someone like I'm a trash Widow, right? I'm awful. I'm very bad, right? And I can tell you I could hit this shot very easily, right? Just because you're jumping in a predictable pattern that I can flick to super easily after hours of playing the game, right? You get that muscle memory in. So like as you get higher, those better and better Widows and hit scans, they have that muscle memory intact, and they're able to hit those shots very easily. So the better way to play is by crouch spamming, left and right, AD spamming.
All right.
And I don't know if it's like a comfortable thing if you're not comfortable, using as a control for crouch. It's like for me, like I literally changed my. When I first started, I literally changed my crouch key. My crouch key is on left alt.
Wow.
It makes things 10 times easier for me at least, because I can go back and forth between the spacebar and alt very easily. Only issue is I'll sometimes alt tab on accident, but I've gotten better at that. So
my only gripe with like how my keys are bound, especially on Ana, is because I have 2 side buttons on my mouse, and both those side buttons are on are bound to my nade and my sleep to make sleeps hit easier, right?
Yeah.
So my first instinct would be to bind my shift to crouch, but there's a problem with that too. When you're playing other heroes, you're so used to pressing shift to crouch, and then you end up feeding
So what I can tell you as a solution for that is I have the same thing, right? I have 2 mouse buttons as well. I use the one that's closer to me. I use that as melee for every single hero. I use that for melee, and then the second one I use. Like I went through each and every hero to change it to the ability that requires aim, right? So for Ana, I have it on sleep, right? I have the mouse button on sleep, and I keep my nade on E, right? Because obviously you're not going to be using your E button anymore, but like it's very easy to hit, right? So here I'm literally just going to go into practice range real quick. So kind of show it off. So yeah. Okay, there we go. This is better. So basically I have punch on my left mouse button, right? So that way, like if someone's behind me, I can kind of get that. And then with sleep,
hold on, punch is on. I don't get it when people bind their punch or their jump to mouse wheel or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always have the logic that whenever I shoot, I'm gonna punch as well.
Okay.
Which I don't know how that kind of thing works, but
so
I
think you're like thinking of like the Ana combo, like one shot combo into tracers, but generally like mouse. I don't use mouse wheel. I think it's super uncomfortable to use, but that's just personal preference. But what I'd recommend is not having both of your abilities on both mouse buttons because you can accidentally misclick them fairly easily. Whereas with melee, it doesn't really do anything if you misclick it. But for example, we're going to take sleep, right? Sleep, you're already, you need to use your arm to aim sleep, right? So if it's just a click of the thumb, you can hit it. Obviously, don't miss a fucking training bot like I do. But yeah, you have it on where you're aiming, right? But with nade, it's not necessarily you have to aim it as much. There may not be a tracer behind you, so you just kind of aim up a little and E, right?
Yeah, I get it.
So you don't have to use the one I do, but that's just like what I recommend to try.
No, but because your binds actually make sense.
So yeah, because like E is it's fairly easy to hit still, so you don't really have to worry about your fingers being cramped up.
Yeah.
But I don't have shift for anything pretty much, just because I think using the pinky is a little too awkward and inconsistent. So I can literally go from jumping to crouching super easily just because it's on my thumb, right? So this is the original thing I wanted to show is like I'm literally just pressing Alt and then space like in 0.2 seconds, right? But anyway, with the strafing, it's generally AD strafing with crouching, right? And depending on what the enemy character is that you're fighting against, you'll want to do a mixture of the two. If it's like a hit scan like Widow or McCree, fast AD strafing. If it's like a Hanzo or something who has projectile, generally bigger strafes, so you can avoid the projectiles like Pharah.
Yeah,
faster, it's because it's harder to predict. But jumping, you can see how it's very hard to control yourself, right? You only have like 2 options with where you can go while jumping.
Yeah.
So in general, it's especially when you get into higher levels of play, it's super punishing, right? Like I currently coach a masters team, and like I'm on my the flex supports players butt all the time about it, because they're facing these good Widow players, these masters plus players, and if he jumps at all on Moira, he's just gonna die, right? For free. So like I got to the point where I started messaging him in game whenever he jumped. I would just type jump in. I would whisper him while I'm like watching his POV, and every time he jumped, I would just say
Jesus
jump,
Christ,
jump, to get it out of his head to do it, because that's how punishing it is.
I really don't want you to spectate me ever.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's an extreme solution, but I'm coaching the team, so it's my job to make them better in the shortest amount of time possible, right?
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different, but yeah, like I said, just go. I would recommend going to mess around with keybinds. You know, figure out where it works best for you.
Yeah, I feel like having E on my nade is gonna be a lot more comfortable than having F on my melee. Because you know, it just feels kind of weird.
Yeah, and then like for other heroes, I did it for other heroes as well. Basically just the aiming, you know, whatever your aims, like for example, like McCree, right? You don't aim roll, so I have it on E, but you aim flashbang, right? So I have it on, it on the mouse button, so you can, you know, hit them, right?
I find that having like different binds for every hero can be a bit overwhelming though. Like you have to put in a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but over time though, it'll benefit you more, right? Because like, you know, if you have these different binds, you may as well go full send and change all the characters, right? Because like in your head, it's like if you change the aiming character, like or like the aiming ability, no matter what character you're on, you're like, okay, I need to aim with this button, right? So like with Reinhardt, I have Fire Strike, right? So I can aim Fire Strike whenever I want, right? It's not an issue.
My only gripe with those McCree binds is that strafing, especially in a McCree 1v1, is pretty important. And to press E, you have to take you have to. I know it's not that big, but like you have to take your finger off of a movement key, and then you know, it's like I would much rather be able to strafe left and right and then press shift while I'm strafing to instantly reload.
Yeah,
it just works for me.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, it's just about experimenting. It's, you know, what you find best, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not going to say what the keybinds that I have are gospel, right? But I would just recommend at the very least getting, you know, both of your abilities off of the mouse button. Go back into replays here. We were on. Where's it at? I'm struggling here.
Do you want me to send you the code again?
No, I got it. So, yes, that was just kind of showing off the strafing a little bit, and with the buttons as well. So we'll kind of keep going here. A little aggressive in the positioning there. You don't. I mentioned this in the Lucio video as well. You didn't get punished for it, right? But that's still bad, right? You know, stepping up like that, when you have no clue what the enemy team is, you have no clue what's going to happen, and just walking up in a place where there's no cover, no team, more often than not, you're gonna die.
And I especially in that little position, I feel really safe behind my Reinhardt shield, but like so I tend to play, you know, a bit more carefree.
But yeah, remember Reinhardt shield got nerfed, so it's pretty weak now. Especially like look at the team comp, right? Hog, Sim, Reaper, right? The shield is not going to be present at all. You cannot trust your Rein shield, and that's something I've always recommended with the shields is like never trust your shields, because like unless the tank communicates to you, you won't know exactly how much health it has, and you don't know how long you're safe for.
Yeah.
So. Alright, so we'll keep going here. They're still in the sim. They're gonna look to try it again.
Sometimes I watch my own replays, and like even I'm really caught out in a horrible position here.
So like even like being here is fine, right? But like the second you see this TP, book it. Just leave.
Yeah.
So I would have, you know, dropped down these stairs here, so you have the health back, and you know, start telling your team like, come help me on the left side, right? Or even over here, right? But just not staying like overstaying your welcome.
Yeah.
So okay.
And sometimes I watch my own replays, and sometimes like whenever I watch them, I just think to myself, dude, why are you playing so aggressively? and I just look at myself, and I do a face slam every time.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I can say to combat that, right, is just thinking, right, while you're playing, because a lot of players, they'll get into like a flow state kind of thing, which is good sometimes, but then for players who don't already have that good positioning ingrained in their minds, you start to forget about it, and you just, you know, you're just so focused on hitting shots and, you know, hitting your mechanics and stuff like that it just gets to the point where it's like, oh, I'm suddenly in the middle of their team. Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those big things where a top-ranking CS:GO player played Overwatch, yeah, he would have really good aim, but his positioning and game sense would just be all over the place, and he would probably hit gold, plat at best, right?
Yeah,
But
I think Shroud tried Overwatch and he was plat, like he was hard stuck plat.
yeah, it's just that Overwatch requires not only aim but a lot more game sense, and
Yeah, and that's like what comes into play with like the similarities to MOBAs. Um, it is like it has such an emphasis on these tanks and these healers, and positioning as well, just like League of Legends or Dota, whatever. So that's why like the players who had switched from like other types of games, they actually did fairly well in these.
yeah, I did not expect that Reaper there at all.
I like it. I don't like griping on missing sleep or something like that. I feel
Because yeah, aiming sleeps is like it's like aim. It's just a mechanic that comes to you as you play more.
yep, for sure. No, obviously, if you're missing every single sleep, then of course it's going to be a problem. But like you've hit sleep spots, so I'm not too worried about that. Fights lost here, don't need to be walking up. It's unnecessary, and you might get caught out and die here for it.
Yeah, no, I remember. I very vividly remember my BAP yelling at me to back the hell up.
Yeah, you getting an extra 10% ult charge here isn't really worth you dying.
Yeah.
You're forced to use nade because of it.
Yeah, no. Looking back on that, I really should not have attempted.
I mean, look at your nade cooldown right there, starting to walk in, and you're just about to get it back. Okay. That's fun. I usually go for those kind of sleeps under the Reinhardts.
Because it leaves them without a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I usually, especially like when you know where their Reaper's at, although he does have ult here. So like, unless there's someone who's going to be hard diving you like Tracer or Doomfist, it's generally okay to go for those kind of sleeps. But obviously here, the Reaper has ult. You need that sleep to shut him down.
Yeah.
So, getting better at ult tracking will help fix that as well. But that, once again, that comes from just playing the game. So the Reaper
I genuinely don't know where my team is right here. Like, it's only the Sim and I on point. Well, I'm just thinking to myself, what happened to our team?
So we'll kind of look here. So it looks like your Hog died early and he didn't get short respawn. Yeah, no, your Hog did not get short respawn. Your Genji and your Reaper and Reinhardt are facing a Reaper over here. So we're gonna look at what happens here. Alright, so you're damaging the junk. This is fine. And then you do something that, yeah, this. Why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
again the aggressive play.
Yeah, you have a free TP to high ground and a wall up to protect you. Why are you not taking the same? Even if you don't take the TP, why are you not here? Why are you not, here, right? Where it's, just twice as hard to get to you, even though there's not a ton of cover. It's still just that much harder to kill you.
Looking at where like the game is at now, I would have been safe if I TP'd because there was a Reaper. I don't know if you saw, there was a Reaper teleporting right behind me.
Yeah, and like keep in mind, like they have Reaper junk, right? You'll know that they're coming, right? If they're gonna come for you.
Yeah.
Reaper ults. There's no voice line because Reaper replay viewer is bad. But yeah, you die for free for no reason.
Yeah.
When you can, when the Rein's just swinging like a madman, you can get a fat ante onto them and make it so when you recontest, your team can win. Okay, so yeah, 70.
I'm at least 90%. I think I might have switched to Lucio at some point in this clip, or maybe. Oh, sure. This might not be the best clip for, Yeah.
Okay, this is fine.
I'm at least 90% sure I switched to Lucio here.
Okay, it's round ends. It's fine. And honestly, it's fine though if you switch to Lucio. But it looks like we're.
Yeah, I switched to Brigida to contest.
Okay. So overall, what I'm seeing, you're kind of forgetting about your positioning. You're focusing. Your mechanics are very good. Like I will give you that. Your mechanics
are they actually?
Yeah, your mechanics are pretty strong. You're hitting, you're hitting your sleeps, you're hitting your antes, you're hitting your shots. Like it's your mechanics are fairly good. It's just the matter of you're playing in stupid positions, right?
Yeah.
So, and getting yourself killed. I like my better games. Like if I'm not getting hard focused as Ana, I will probably have 1 or 2 deaths the entire game. Right. Obviously, it's different if like they have dive or something and I'm getting ran down. At that point, I'll just switch Moira. But like in that, I don't know because it doesn't tell me stats. But like in that scenario, I would probably only have 1 death.
You know what I find, especially in bronze, like I know this might seem a bit dumb, but I think that dive is played more in bronze because Genji and Doomfist are such cool heroes. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Listen, listen. Newer players generally gravitate to the damage heroes because they want the big pot Gs. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And Genji and Doomfist, they've probably seen like the Doomfist rollouts and the Genji 6K blades, and they want to replicate that. That's why I feel like Genji Doomfist Tracer might be played a bit more.
Yeah,
in lower elos.
And I'll tell you right now, up until like 3800, what you play does not matter. Right. If I go into GM right now and queue, I will most likely have to play Moira. Otherwise, I will literally just lose my team the game by playing Ana.
Wow, is Ana not in the meta? I'm pretty sure Ana was always a good pick.
Ana is a decent pick, but she becomes completely unplayable if the enemy team is playing meta. Meta right now is Monkey Diva, Reaper Sombra, Moira Lucio. Right.
Yeah.
And Ana just absolutely gets dominated by that comp. We'll probably see that in Grand Finals is on the old patch with Hogs RS, so never mind. But if you see any high level games right now, if you see any like contenders teams playing or OD teams playing, that's what you'll be seeing. So Ana is very unplayable, but below there, it's totally fun to play.
Yeah.
Like
if I was like better at Ana, I feel like I could climb to a certain threshold, a certain SR threshold.
For sure.
And then I'd probably have to switch.
Yeah, I mean like you only have to swap to Moira like if it's absolutely necessary. But like, I mean, look, you're playing Zen. Zen is almost a throw pick sometimes. But it's still possible to win this game, even though you have Zen Ana. So, gonna see what happens here. The barrier is broken already.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if we push through this choke throughout the entire game.
Okay.
Hanamura. Yeah, no, I'm trying to tell my hog over here to move over because I can't seem to find the Zen or the Reinhardt.
Yeah. So another thing that I'm seeing is you're spending way too much time scoped.
Oh, okay.
You are. Let's see. It's like if we'll kind of go a little bit forward here. I know you're trying to hit your Zen here, but it's on him to go hit that health, get that health back, right? Because your Ryan's more important right now.
Yeah.
So look for get the heal on the Zen. So he's already full, and right now you just need to be spamming unscoped shots into your Ryan.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't seem to.
Yeah, because look at how hard it is to see what's happening, right? You have no clue what's going on with the enemy team. All you can see is this hog and Ryan in your face, right? Whereas instead, if you're spamming unscoped, also that's on your Zen for peeking that when he's 1 HP and they have a Bastion. That's not your fault.
Yeah, no. I told them they have a Bastion, so try not to peek try not to peek him too much, and he peeks and. Yeah. Also, in higher elos, I'm at least 90% sure quick scoping becomes much more apparent.
Quick scoping and unscoping and no scopes happen a lot more. You'll see, like, if you go watch some of the high level streamers, they're actually mostly unscoped shots. It just gives you a lot more value than scoping down, because like although you have that instant those instant shots, unscoped allows you to strafe. it is, you know, it allows you to reposition fairly easy. It also gives you more awareness of what's going on, right? If you're scoped down, go ahead.
Never mind. Never mind. Keep on going.
All right. Yeah. So like when you're scoped down like this, also your character's moves really slowly and is very easy to hit, right?
And
yeah.
They even have the fact that they have, you know, such a bunkered down comp, and the fact that they have an echo, it really just makes the matter worse because I'm just so vulnerable to stickies and
yeah. For sure. That's 100% what I was gonna say here. Let's say their echo's sitting up here. This is the easiest right click for her, right? You're practically standing still, right?
Yeah.
So like working on getting like a mixture of unscoped and quick scopes will, you know, just make that a lot easier on yourself. You won't find yourself dying as much. So yeah, keep going here.
I find that if I see a critical on the screen, my first instinct is to run over to them and do my best to top them up. Honestly, I just get so stressed whenever I see the word critical on my screen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
can you tell me can you tell me what's wrong with this picture?
I'm way I'm way too far forward.
Yeah. You're in front of your Ryan shield. All right. So yeah, that's kind of the you die instantly.
Oh yeah, by the way, I used to main Genji and Lucio, so
okay. Nice.
I don't know if that had an influence on my very, very, very aggressive playstyle, but definitely.
So it's okay to have an aggressive playstyle, but that's in playstyle alone, right? It's not your positioning, right? Because like Ryan, there's a difference between an aggressive playstyle and aggressive positioning, right? You know, going for, you know, a ton of swings, a ton of fire strikes versus, you know, standing very far forward. With Ana, it's the same thing. You can have an aggressive playstyle, you know, which is looking for antis into their backline, looking for sleeps, right? But that's not that, right? That's just kind of
it's just kind of dumb positioning.
Exactly. Yeah, because like no amount of antis and sleep right there will save you from stepping in front of your Ryan shield when you're pushing into a bastion, or even without the bastion, just running in front of your tanks. So yeah, and look at also how far behind you are from your tanks now because you had to scope in there to hit those shots.
Yeah. I find that a reoccurring theme with my with my replays is too far up forward, man.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a great bubble by their Zarya.
It was, yeah. Okay. So your Ryan goes in, your Zen doesn't have chance yet. Yeah, so it's a little rough.
Yeah, no, it is. I think I try to look for a shot on that echo there because I see she's really low, and I think, you know, if we can if I can kill her and we get the reset off, then.
Should have needed yourself there. That's fine though. That's just on reaction time to, you know, realize you're gonna need to nade yourself. Well, there's 8 minutes left, so I assume you guys cap here. So we'll see what's going on here. Okay, nice hook by our Hog.
Yeah, no, it was perfectly timed before the fortified too.
Yeah. So another thing, once again, with this scope down, right? Their echo flies away, and you have no clue where she's at because you're in.
Oh yeah, she was supposed to be like somewhere.
Yeah, she was right there where your ash is, but she flew straight up, right? And because you're scoped down, you aren't able to see that.
Yeah.
Right, and you only see her now because of the shots. Okay. Once again, I know we're pushing with trance here, but your Ryan went to the right there. Just follow him, right? That like you don't lose anything by taking this extra rotation to the right here. You see him go to the right, just follow him, right?
I honestly fully expected the trans to, you know, protect me.
I mean, it did, but then they got damage boosted Bastion in your face.
Yeah.
But like, remember, Trance only lasts 6 seconds. Let's see how much longer he has on Trance. He has 1 second left. Right.
He does.
So if you just take an extra 1 or 2 seconds to take this angle, to just follow your Rhine, not only do you have a health pack to play around, you have cover. Oh, I think whoa, what the heck? I just lagged it crazy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I just saw that.
Yeah, I just skipped. Weird.
There's like a 5-second stream delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so so a safer route to take would have been that that little room.
Yeah, just into the right side there.
And yeah, that Bastion cucks me.
Yeah.
And the rest of our team.
Alright, so we're pushing up here.
I'm at least 90% sure I shouldn't have gone Ana in this case because, you know, we should have been stalling.
Well, no, you had Nano here, so this was fine staying on Ana. And even just playing Ana in general is fine, especially into Bastion because you're able to hit the sleeps and antis to shut him down. It looks like your Lucio's clutching up.
Yeah, no, our Lucio's a good friend of mine. He's a DP. He's a platinum tank player, and so he has a decent game sense. But he can really, like I've seen him play. He can really clutch up moments in games when you need it.
Yeah.
He's
watching your back.
All right, so we'll keep going here. Generally, it's probably just gonna be generally the same thing. Shield it off.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah, no, this is.
Yeah.
I feel like I tried to push too far forward because I saw that they like we were all behind an Orisa shield.
Yeah.
So it's like I really desperately wanted to, you know.
Yeah, just get in there. I totally get that. You give up high ground for no reason, right? You can literally just stay up here for free, scope down all you want, and just hit shots for days, right?
I feel like another thing that spooks me off high grounds like this is the fear of getting flanked.
Totally.
The fear of, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Slow anti. Yeah, I mean, just like it's really hard for you to like tell where your team's at, right? You have to like almost do like a 90-degree turn to see your Rhine, right? So yeah, we keep going here. I'm generally just seeing the main things, or sorry, the same things here.
Please don't mind like the 50 missed shots on that Junkrat.
It's all good.
Please try to ignore that. I genuinely, until I looked up at the kill feed, I didn't realize that I actually killed that Reaper there.
Yeah. Okay. So your Lucius the MVP here. He kept you alive.
Yeah.
Far longer than you should have been. There's
far longer. Oh my god. Looking at it now, I should have been dead the instant I dropped off that high ground.
Yeah, right. Because they're more ulting and they have a Zarya on point, and you're spamming jump like a madman, right? Jumping is so easy to track a Zarya, it's insane. So you're very lucky you did not die here, because she wasn't paying attention to you.
I need to go thank my Lucio.
Yeah.
A bit.
For sure. So like even if you play down here, which you know it happens if you lose high ground, it loses it. Like why not just stand here? Right.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, it will save you so much anxiety and stress to just play back from the fight instead of being in it. Right? Because as Ana, like all you have is nade for yourself, right? You can't do anything to keep yourself alive. So like I can literally tell by the way you're jumping around and like moving and looking around is like you're panicking, right? You know, because like the fight's going on, like everyone's in your face, you don't know where to look, you don't know who to heal, who to hit, right? But if you're just sitting top right here, if you're sitting up here, even like it makes your job so much easier, and it allows you to be, you know, more calm, and allows you to hit shots more easily. Right?
Yeah.
Because up here you can see everyone. You can see all 12 players or all 11 players, right? But down here, say from your POV, you don't know where the Junkrat's at, right? If your team goes off to the right, you lose LOS of them. So yeah, we end up just kind of losing. Yeah, especially if you walk up like this, like you're gonna have no idea where anything's. Like you had no idea that Junkrat was behind you, shooting at you, and he killed you for it.
Ooh, not good, not good.
Yeah. So, guys, cap. Hi. We'll skip ahead here a bit.
Never.
Alright, we're on the top.
Generally, when I was looking for, you know, a replay for your review, I tried to find one where I actually lost the game, because, you know, it just brings out the mistakes more. And
Yeah, I need to like, I really wish Replay Viewer gave you stats right now, because I do want to see how many deaths you have. That's super important to me.
I'm pretty sure if I can just count from memory here, I'm at ooh, yeah, no, I remember what we were saying in chat too. We were saying like, let's like TP onto point and then set up a bastion there with a Reinhardt shield, and it just fell apart completely.
Yeah, you guys got a tick out of it.
We did,
Which is good, but like, you get here, and you know your bastion dies, which is unlucky. But like, you have a short amount of time to relocate yourself to somewhere that's safe, right? But instead, you just kind of exist on point. Right? And this might be okay if you're playing like Moira or something, but you're playing Ana, right? You want to be in a place where you're safe from the enemy team. Like what I would do, like what I usually do when we take TPs to point, which, you know, it doesn't really happen all that often anymore, but I would, you know, just come over here and sit right here. Right.
and just shoot.
Yeah, and just shoot. Like, you're low stress because no one can flank you because they're looking to push main, right? If they do flank you, you have sleep, right? And then you can rotate, you know, back here, or even up here, right? But yeah, once again, it's that positioning stuff that's really killing you, right?
And I can tell because this morning I tried to play a bit more passively, and I'm pretty sure it was on Lijiang or something. Lijiang, what do you call it? Market, whatever you night market.
Yeah, night market.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
I'm not ready.
So I actually watched your video on a positioning for Lijiang.
Yeah.
And I tried to take a position near that statue when you know our team pushed in. Yeah, I switched to Mercy here because I just and what do you call it? The first thing I do when I take that position, and it's like as soon as I get settled in, the first thing that happens is a Reaper one-taps me from behind, and it just influenced that, you know, aggressive play even more, or aggressive positioning even more.
So I can tell you once again, it's the stuff that's going to cause that is the aiming down sights so much, right? I'm seeing it like you're almost exclusively aiming down sights here. Like you'll start off like, you know, no scoping, but then like as the fight goes on, you just hard focus on aiming down sights.
Yeah.
And that'll give you zero awareness, right? And like I said, if you're hard aiming down sights, a Reaper can literally just walk up behind you, line up his shotguns, and one tap you. You know, he's in no.
I feel like if I'm no scoping and, you know, just strafing a bit more, that Reaper can't one tap me, especially in the elo that I'm in.
For sure.
And you know, gives me a chance to sleep him.
Yep, definitely. Okay. A little late on the nade there, but that's okay. Your Ryan was gonna die anyway because he was in bad positioning, even if you nade him.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we just get rolled this first team fight.
Yeah, no, just nice and anti, but your team's all dead, so it doesn't really matter. That fight not a lot you could have done. Your team is in a bit bad positioning, but at the same time, you're making games like 10 times harder your team. Yeah. Like let's look at yeah, we'll come here again. Okay. Let's we're gonna play here. Their Moira ults, Mercy and Zarya all come out, right? And now your Lucio has to focus on keeping you alive. Right? So that's diverting his attention.
Yeah,
you know, away from doing damage, away from, you know, displacing people, to I have to amp heals and keep my Ana alive now, right? Instead of you playing back here, so your Lucio literally never has to worry about you, right? Unless you like get dove and need to run, right?
Of course.
So yeah, kind of show this bit again. Yeah, your Lucio's on heal exclusively this whole fight because of how much damage you're taking.
My first instinct when it's pretty funny because as soon as you said your Lucio is exclusively on heal, that Lucio literally just came online in Battle.net, and I was just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
Frontline on.
Yeah, it's the DPS Ana. So yeah, but you get the like, it's one of those things where it's like you're influencing the fight for the worse, right? For your team.
Yeah.
Like it's like I always say this in comp, even though I shouldn't because I'm toxic in comp. But I like whenever there's like a tank who's like hard locking Roadhog and won't switch, I'm like, you're making it 10 times harder for us. I'm like, you're making our job 10 times harder. And he's like, oh well, but we capped first point, and I'm like, I know, but it took us 3.5 minutes, and we had to get lucky because they overextended, right? It's just you have to think, how can I make the job on my teammates as easy as possible, and how can I enable them as much as possible, right? Because you can't enable them if you're dead, and they don't want to be focusing their resources on you, right? Because as Ana, you're the last person that really needs resources, right? Unless they're like running dive and you're on defense or something, like first point here, and you're getting dove. But like, if you're just sitting high ground here, there's absolutely nothing they can do to touch you. And if they do, guess what? There's one less person on point, right? And you have sleep.
Yeah.
It's like let's say the Reaper comes up top right to come at you. Well,
if I sleep him, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if you don't kill him, right? He's gonna either retreat back to his team or he's gonna be chunked. So he can't really be a part of this fight anymore, right? Because your team has beat. Like he can't go onto the tanks. I don't think your Ryan understands that. You can't shatter over that. Yeah, I've seen it. Your Ryan has done that twice now. He's shattered off a ledge. I don't think he understands that, but anyway.
Another reference back to when I said the Reinhardts and tanks just in this elo sometimes are just not good, and.
Much better than Cabana.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I thought you were finishing a thought. Okay. So you're teaching people my ways. Yeah, Wrench is the guy I was talking about, that I coach in chat. But yeah, so generally, yeah, I think I've seen seen the whole map, kind of seen pretty much everything. Like I said, your mechanics are pretty good, right? You hit a decent amount of sleeps this game. You're hitting your antis, so I'm not really worried about. Obviously, keep practicing that, but I'm not too worried about your mechanics, right? Biggest things that you're gonna want to keep in mind while you're playing, right? Be conscious of scoping down too much, and be conscious of your positioning, right? Is it safe where I'm playing? Will I get punished for this? Like, ask yourself these questions mid-game, right? Don't just kind of zone out and just, get into a groove and just start playing, right? Just until you get good at, positioning yourself correctly, be conscious about it at all times. Like, can the Ryan push me? Can I get killed by a DPS here? Those kind of things. That's going to be your big ones. Scoping in and positioning. Like, those are the two huge ones, because ability usage is fine. I've seen a lot of Anas struggle with ability usage. They either use nade and sleep too much, or they'll use use it too little. But you found the kind of balance, which is good. I like to see that. So we just kind of have to get that positioning in check, And when that happens, you'll find yourself dying less, and you'll be able to influence games a lot more.
Yeah.
Right, and you can become that hard carry that your team needs. When you have a feeding Rhine, or when you have a DPS who's being toxic, right? You can become that kind of person who hard carries your team. Right?
Yeah. Listen, I don't know if you've played like any Team Fortress 2 at all, but during my my few month-long break of Overwatch, I played a lot of TF2.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen TF2 at all, but TF2 is a lot less constructed than Overwatch, and you're often just diving into the enemy team, especially in casual mode. You're just like diving into the enemy team and doing your best to get kills. And it's supposed to encourage this very aggressive kind of just I want to kill everything kind of mindset. And I don't know if it kind of rubbed off on me, like looking back at this game, but I mean, my positioning is way too upfront.
Yeah, and like I said, it's okay to be aggressive, but it's one of those things where you have to find your moment to do that. You have to find the specific. It's being patient until that happens, right? Like, if they're running double shield, if they're running Orisa Sigma, and you just kind of throw nades on cooldown instead of waiting for your chance to throw a nade, like you'll miss that chance, right? When like you can hit the 6-man ante, just because you're playing too aggressive, right? So yeah, definitely keeping that positioning in check is going to be the big thing that'll bring you up like two elos at least, just getting better at positioning, right?
Yeah.
Tons of coaches always say, just don't die forehead, right? Just
don't die forehead.
Yeah, but unironically, that is good advice. The less you die, the better you will get at this game. Obviously, if you're just like in nowhere, just like not helping your team, it's going to be a little bit different. But if you're bringing that impact to your team that you're doing while also living and staying safe, so your team has to devote less resources to you, in general, your play will skyrocket. I can 100% tell you right then, because like you have a ton of potential. I can 100 I usually I don't say that just to say that, like unironically you have a lot of potential.
Wow. I've never felt so much meaning in my life.
Oh my god. Yeah, but like I said, just keep playing the game. Don't get discouraged by a number, right? A lot of people are like, I've dropped so much, right? But like you get better just by playing. You'll get better just from improving your mechanics by playing. You'll understand when it's not a good time to walk forward just by playing. A lot of people learn this like through trial and error. But like in these lower elos, like a lot of times like you don't really learn from it, right? Because you're not punished for it, like I said.
Because
So yeah, which is why it's good to get a coach sometimes to look at what's going on here. So I think that's pretty much going to be it from me. Do you have any other questions or anything like that?
No, you pretty much covered everything, actually.
All right. Yeah, and like I'm trying to think of the words here, but generally, like just seeing from one VOD, like it's pretty much what it's going to be every game. I can tell you, because like players, like humans are creatures of habit, right? So like it's just it'll be the same thing every game. So just focusing on that every single time, even if your mechanics take a dip because of it, in the positioning is just so much more important. So yeah, just focus on that first. Then once you get good at that, then you can start working on hitting 360 sleeps off of the top ropes or whatever. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be it for me then.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. It was good to
No. Thanks to you for taking your time to do all this stuff for me.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
All right.
And you're good if I post this as like a video or something?
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Sweet. I will probably have that uploaded later today then. So.
All right. I'll be sure to watch it over and over again.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's good having you, man. I will talk to you later. I'll be around if you ever need
All right.
help again. So
Yeah. Totally. Thank you.
awesome.
See ya.
See ya.